The Council now becomes Committee of the Whole Council to consider the Trade Unions Amendment Bill 2025. Members may refer to the appendix to the script for the debate and voting arrangements for the bill. Members have been informed that the committee will conduct a joint debate on the clauses and the amendments. I now propose the question to you that the following clauses stand part of the bill. Clauses 1 to 96. The Secretary for Labor and Welfare will move amendments which seek to amend clauses 15, 17, 88, and 96. Members may refer to the appendix to the script for details of the amendments. Members may now proceed to a joint debate on the clauses and the amendments. I will first call upon the Secretary for Labor and Welfare to speak, but he is not required to move the amendments at this stage. Then I will call upon members to speak. Upon the conclusion of the joint debate, the committee will first vote on the clauses with no amendments standing part of the bill, and then vote on the amendments. Secretary for Labor and Welfare. Chairman, I now move government amendments to clauses 15, 17, 88, and 96 of the Trade Unions Amendment Bill 2025, the bill in short. The amendments to be moved by the government are mainly proposed in response to the views of the Bills Committee. The contents of the amendments have been set out in the paper previously issued to members by the Legislative Council Secretariat. I now summarize them as follows. 1. Exception to protect a bona fide purchaser of property of a trade union. According to the newly proposed Section 12B, if the registrar is satisfied that it is in the interest of the members of the trade union to appoint a manager to take over the management of the property of the trade union pending the determination of the appeal, the registrar may exercise such a power. The proposed new Section 12C(4) seeks to prohibit a person from selling or disposing of the property of a trade union when the appointment of a manager of the trade union has effect. According to the newly proposed Section 12C(6), the sale will be void if the property of a trade union is sold or disposed of in contravention of Section 12C(4). The intent of the said provisions is to protect the property of trade union when a manager has been appointed. In light of the legal advisor's suggestions, the administration proposes to add the proposed new Section 12C(6)(a) to provide that if the property of a trade union is sold for full and valuable consideration to a bona fide purchaser without notice of the appointment of manager, the sale will not be void by virtue of the proposed new Section 12C(6), even if the property is sold in contravention of the proposed new Section 12C(4). Two, introduction of a mediation option. First, on dispute between a manager of trade union and a third party. According to the newly proposed Section 12C(9)(g), the registrar may refer any subject of dispute between a manager and any third party to arbitration, subject to the written consent of the third party. In light of the legal advisor's comment and the mediate first principle, the government proposes to empower the registrar to refer any subject of mediation under the proposed Section 12C(9)(g). On dispute between a liquidator and a third party. According to the newly proposed Section 15(3)(g), the registrar may refer any subject of dispute between a liquidator and any third party to arbitration, subject to the written consent of the third party. Same as the above, in accordance with the mediate first principle, the government proposes to empower the registrar to refer any subject to mediation under the proposed Section 15(3)(g). The third amendment is about penalty for continuous contravention of the requirement to return the certificate of registration of a trade union or trade union federation. According to Section 13 of the existing trade union registration regulations, where the registration of a registered trade union or a registered trade union federation is cancelled, the person for the time being having custody of the certificate of registration of the trade union or trade union federation shall, within 14 days of the publication in the Gazette of a notice of the fact that the registration has been cancelled, return such certificate to the registrar. Section 17(1) of the regulations stipulate that any contravener will be liable to a fine at level 1, that is $2,000, and a fine of $10 for each day during which it is proved to the satisfaction of the court that the offense has continued. The Bills Committee members ask the administration to review the penalty under Section 13 of the regulations to make sure that the relevant level of penalty can keep up with the times. The administration took on board members' suggestions and proposed to amend Regulation 17(1) to raise the penalty for continuous contravention of the requirement of returning the certificate of registration from a fine of $10 per day to $100 per day. The rest are technical amendments to the drafting of the bill with no impact to the meaning of the provisions. The Bills Committee has no objection to the said amendments. I appeal to members to support the amendment. Thank you, Chairman. Does any members wish to speak? If not, we now vote on the clauses with no amendments setting part of the bill. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of the members present. I declare the motion passed. This committee now deals with the clauses with amendments. Secretary for Labor and Welfare, you may move your amendments. Chairman, I move the amendment set out in the appendix to the script. I propose the question to you that the Secretary's amendment be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of the members present. I declare the amendments passed. Clauses 15, 17, 88, and 96 as amended. I now put the question to you that the clauses as amended just read out by the clerk stand part of the bill. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of the members present. I declare the motion passed. All the proceedings on the Trade Unions Amendment Bill 2025 have been concluded in Committee of the Whole Council. Council now resumes. Secretary for Labor and Welfare. President, I now report to the Council that the Trade Unions Amendment Bill 2025 has been passed by Committee of the Whole Council with amendments. I move the motion that this Council adopts this report. I now propose the question to you that the Secretary's motion be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of the members present. I declare the motion passed. Third reading.